there. So many people moving to the Nashville, Tennessee area are wanting to experience change. They're moving from their area and they really want to experience a change of lifestyle, a change not only of state, but maybe they want more of a rural lifestyle. Maybe they want more of the family-friendly, small-town feel. Well, you know what? You don't really get that very often in some of these YouTube videos, and I want to share that with you. I also want to share with you the fact that, maybe you can see, many times we hear in Nashville say we don't have that many basements, or that's a complaint that I get a lot of the time, because we don't have many basements. Well, this is true until you get to the rolling hillsides of some of the other outlying areas, the suburbs of Nashville. And then, if the topography allows it, we've got a lot of homes with basements. This is one such area. Now, I had a couple who moved here approximately 7 months ago. They were the very first family to decide to build in this area for this new development, and I wanted to come out here and see exactly what was going on, how it was developing, how great it is. One of my partners, Felicia, she had a customer just buy a home here. One of the new builds that was a quick move-in. They were able to buy a home that fit their needs perfectly here in so many aspects, and they closed on that home in 2 weeks. Didn't take any time at all because it was a new build. It was exactly the way they wanted. So I thought, you know what, today let's go out and see. Let's see how this development is faring here in Fairview, and tell you a little about the city, or it's more like a town. Tell you more about the town, tell you about the people who are moving here, who it's for, who it maybe not be for, and actually I'll give you a sneak peek of one of the beautiful models that they have here too. So if you're game, I want to share it with you. Come along. Felicia, I am so excited to see how well this is developed out.
Oh, I am too, Susan. It was really great. It's made a big difference since you were telling me your clients bought in here a few months ago.
Yep.
And our clients bought here, what, last
2
week?
weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago. And they're going to have their home inspection this week, actually.
It has really developed so nicely. My people are super happy. It is a very different change for them.
Yeah.
As I said, moving here to Fairview is definitely a change of lifestyle from they were coming from California. And they said, I just want a small town life. I want a place where my kids can ride their bikes, have a community. I'm not worried about them, and just can breathe again. And that's exactly why they moved here, but they're super excited about the development itself.
Yeah, you and I were talking about that. We have so many people that want certain things when they're looking and exploring Nashville, whether it's a certain school system, which we recommend greatschools.org for that.
Absolutely.
But Williamson County itself has proposed a lot of options for our clients.
Right.
And in some cases, they don't want to be right on top of each other. Not that you always are by any means, but they have a certain price structure they want to stay within.
Right.
And they do want a little more space and maybe a much smaller town feel, but still have all those benefits.
So let's talk a little about Fairview. When we're talking much smaller,
It is much smaller.
how many people?
10,250 or 10,005?
I think they added 400 last year.
I think they did too. I think you're right.
It's very small. As I was driving up here, I was reminded, this feels so much to me like Franklin did 30 years ago,
Originally.
because you pass all the farms, you pass a very quiet, it's a 2-lane streets, you got the curves. It feels like Franklin of 30 years ago.
I agree.
Can't promise it's going to be Franklin of 30 years ago, because it
That's
doesn't have
right.
the doesn't have the deep history that Franklin has. It was
right.
just a really nice country little town.
Yep, you're exactly right. And you know, that reminds me, I wrote a little blurb in the Nashville Business Journal a couple of years ago, because for the previous company that I worked for, but it was about, you know, Nolensville in particular, and then Fairview, and both being in Williamson County, and how, you know, they're up and coming and being developed. Well, 2 years later,
So right.
that is exactly the case.
Exactly.
We have found that all those up and coming builders that we were talking about, you know, needed more space, bought more land. People wanted to move out further.
Well, a
20
big part of
minutes.
our affordability is so difficult. The affordability context starts with how much is the land in the first place?
Yeah.
How much is it going to cost to put in the road, water, sewer? How far away is sewer versus septic?
Right.
And so people complain often about the price of a new construction is too high. Well, it is when you get into an area where there's very little dirt. Now you've got more space here. So this is the prime time for somebody who's really looking, I think,
Yeah.
to have some great appreciation the next couple of years, if it's the right feel for them. And
Well, that's right. But you're
that's
only
big.
20 minutes from Nashville, and you know that makes a difference. So when we're talking about these outskirts, as you and I do, or these suburbs of Nashville, we're talking minutes drives from basically downtown. And that's really how they do that. By the way, the mileage is from
Mileage
post
doesn't
office.
matter. It's how long is it going to take you to drive? You're not a bird. You can't fly there.
Right, but they're always talking post office to post office. I don't know
true.
if people knew that. Isn't that a
I
funny
didn't
little
know that.
tidbit of information? So it might be 45 minutes from one town to the next, but in this case, we're talking 20 minutes outside of Nashville,
Right.
Down either 100 or coming from Franklin on 96.
I came 96.
Or I-40 west towards Dixon and Memphis.
Well, and I think the proximity makes it nice too, because if you work downtown from Fairview, you can easily get on I-40, go straight in.
More than one
If you
artery
happen
in
to
and
work
out.
in Franklin, and that's where I came from, you just go across 96. It was 10 miles,
Yeah.
exactly,
Yeah.
from West Haven to here.
Yeah. And it's gorgeous. That's a gorgeous drive.
It is a pretty drive.
Highway 100 can take
Exactly.
you into, the Belmead area of Nashville as well. And in this case, with our clients, they're actually going to have their home inspection this coming weekend, but he works in Maryland Farms.
Oh,
so,
perfect.
Yeah, so it's about 35 to 45 minutes, depending on the time of day that he's going,
Sure.
of course.
Sure.
But it's not that many miles. So
Well,
it's
I'm so
great.
glad, and it gets back to what we always tell people. Every place is not perfect for everybody.
That's right.
By any means.
That's right.
And it was so good to have that first conversation.
That's why we have to. We
They
have to have that
described,
one-on-one.
give us the top 5 things that you want in a neighborhood,
Yes.
in a family. Budget has to be in there, no matter how much we want to
That's
give you
right.
everything you want. If the budget's not in there, it's not.
It won't work for the area.
We
Won't
can't
work for
help
the
you.
area.
We can't help
Yeah.
you. But knowing those things, it was so easy to key in. Oh, well, you know what? We need to look at Fairview. We need to look at Nolensville. Possibility of over in Mount Juliet. 'Cause
Yes.
You definitely want new construction.
Yep.
It was so easy to key it in. But without that information, where so many times people try to just give us a long list of what they want in a house, that really doesn't help. We could throw a dart at the country. So, key, people call us. Let's have a 30-minute phone conversation to see what it is that you specifically want, so we can help put you in the place that's going to be the perfect fit for you.
Yeah, absolutely. All
Tell
those
me
things
some of
are
the things
important.
that the people who just bought in Fairview, what were they excited about?
Well, so the most important things
Area.
to them, and you had touched on that a few minutes ago, but she wanted her children to be able to ride their bikes in the street, not feel terrified that they're going to get run over or be close to a whole lot of traffic. Now, we can't always guarantee that or anything,
Sure.
but this offered that for them. They liked that. Actually, Fairview had some community type situations that were going to be approachable for their children. They have a child that's a swimmer, and I think they actually have a swim program.
Oh, their
out here.
Their athletic center is amazing.
It's great. And so that was really appealing to them, even though they were going to be more removed from certain things that are in a bigger area. But you could still, again, drive to that. So it wasn't such an unattainable, thing.
Well,
option.
and the Bowie
and price
Park
was big too.
The Bowie Park.
Yes.
I-
Bowie Nature Park, 700 acres for the outdoor enthusiast. I mean, this is amazing.
If you want a farm, if you want chickens, now you can have chickens in a neighborhood like
Nope.
an HOA.
Nope.
But if you want farm fresh eggs straight from somebody's coop, you don't need to go to Kroger or Publix, and that's a great Publix, by the way. They
Yeah.
have a phenomenal Publix with a great bakery. But you can find fresh chickens. You can find anything you want in any kind of small town atmosphere right here. What you can't find is a giant shopping center.
Nope, not going to have it. Gonna
You're
go to
not going to
Franklin.
have a huge variety of chain restaurants.
That's right.
You're going to find some of the best donuts, period.
You will. What's our favorite place on
I
that?
can't
Can
think
you
of
think
the
of the
name
name?
of that little donut
We've
place.
got a little dive place that we love to go to too
Yes.
for dinner, and then they have-
Thompson's.
Yes,
It's
Thompson's.
beautiful. You would never know Thompson's is such
I hate
a good
to call
restaurant.
it a dive. Don't tell them I said that.
Well, it doesn't look like it's anything.
No, it doesn't.
But that's
It's
the
not
kind
the
of
same.
thing that, again, tell me if you want that small town flavor. There you go.
Well, and let's not even try and deny that even though it's not in Fairview, it is on the most outskirts of Nashville, and that's the Loveless Cafe. And they have their biscuits
place
and their
for
ham
biscuits.
and fun, and,
Yeah.
and so
Yeah.
everybody who's in Nashville has grown up knowing about the Loveless.
If you want a nightlife, truly,
You're going in town.
you're not, either you're going in town on the occasion you want it, or you're not going to live here.
Yeah,
You
well,
know?
that's true.
If
That's
you
true.
really want a nightlife, you don't want things to shut down at 8 o'clock at night, This isn't the place for you.
Fairview's not going to be your spot. But there's going to be places open. It's just that's probably not right for you. And that's where when we get on our one-on-one call and we talk about all the things that are important to you, we're going to be able to isolate those areas that are perfect for you. In this case, this was family friendly, offered them the school system that they wanted as far as still being in Williamson County, which is in the top 5% in the country. We don't sell according to school, but we listen to you and we send you to greatschools.org and you get to look at the things that people say.
If crime and safety is of importance to you, and who isn't it?
Who
We
isn't
can't talk
interested in
about
that?
it, but
We can send you to websites.
we can send you where to look it up, and that's that too. You know, you get further away from a highly condensed area, you get further away from some of that crime. So take a look at that. But you know what I'm also seeing, just being right here, when I was last here, the model wasn't finished.
When was that?
It's been about 4 months now.
Yeah, so we're talking about this particular location,
Yeah.
which we would love to recommend on a one-on-one call. But yeah, it's been built out for maybe a year.
Maybe the model wasn't finished,
model
though, 'cause
wasn't
they were
finished.
moving it.
Right.
And seeing, I mean, if anybody really wants new construction at a very,
Under 700,
and very high quality.
yes, our people got a 3-bay garage, unheard of.
Very,
4 bedrooms plus an office area plus a great room plus a loft. That is hard to find.
on a quick build.
On a quick build, on a
quick
level
move-in,
lot.
excuse me, on a quick move-in.
Yeah, it was finished, so they're ready to move into it,
And
which
that's
is wonderful.
one of the hard things for somebody with new construction to compete against on a resale home is because some of the new construction has such good quick move-in deals. They got a bonus.
They got a lot of flex cash that they could use whichever way they wanted, whether it's buy down the rate or as closing costs or coupled with, those type of options. So they get to use that. In this case, we did have to use the builder's lender, who is fine. We have preferable lenders, but we also understand that sometimes this will be good too. So it creates a relationship.
Oh, yeah.
We've worked with this other lender
We
too.
can put you with the right people.
Yeah.
And your people, you put in the right place.
Yeah, it
So
was
why don't we take a look?
perfect.
You want to take a look?
I would love to show
what
you
this
this.
looks like. Just one of the plans, and I'm overjoyed with how pretty it is.
It's gorgeous. And that is something too, when you walk into some of these communities. They also, let me just talk about the outside too. They clean the streets. You're not dealing with the trucks. We come from a building background, as you know, if you've followed along. And, that's so important. I mean, we don't want to replace our tires. They're not guaranteeing that they've gotten every nail up. But I've noticed, having driven through here, and you too.
It's very nice to drive through and see how
And
they
see
maintain.
that.
This is a
Yeah.
very heavy work day. There's a lot of construction going on right now, and it's very
can't
pleasant
hear
to
it.
live in.
I can't hear it.
No.
Which is nice too. That's unusual. So, I mean, yeah.
Well, oh, you know what? I forgot one thing. If somebody does want a basement, because Nashville's not known for having a lot of basements,
Nope.
when you get outside of Nashville, you get more of the rolling hillsides of Williamson
Middle
County
Tennessee.
and Middle Tennessee.
Yeah.
You're going to have more of a possibility of being able to have a house with basements or to build a house with basements. So let's take a look
That's
here.
appealing too. I mean, we have
Yeah.
so many people moving from different areas asking us about our weather
Well,
situations.
they're worried about the tornadoes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it is nice to know that you could get that for this. But the biggest thing is I cannot get over the price offering of this being in 700 or less. So preferable. So nice to see.
Let's take a look.
Okay.